As they race up towards the line.
Russell's going along like a winner.
With a photo finish between second and third.
Oh, it was close.
Hello everyone and welcome to the SmartB racing update. This racing update is brought to you by Smart Odds. Compare odds with Smart Odds now. Sign up and use the code WINBIG to get a 30-day free trial. That's a month free instead of the normal 14 days. I'm Bryce Parker, bringing you some of the racing update with SmartB, and I've got Jo Jackson with me as well. Jo, how are you doing?
Good. Great weekend coming up.
Yeah, it's excellent. We've got a stack of stars running around. I'm sure there's some popular multis that'll be on the weekend with some short price favourites. And it's one of the better cards I've seen for a while. And we've got a fair bit of racing across a few tracks. We've got Randwick features top to bottom, 9 features there. Bendigo has a couple, and Morphetville as well. You can find all our selections online by looking at SmartB and back a winner as well, and follow along in the podcast as well. So we'll get into them, Jo. I'm firstly just going to mention the my best each way chance comes up in the first at Randwick. So we've got a good field here. Tupacara's current favourite. It's the one I'm keen to be with is Polish Playgirl. I don't know if you caught the run, Jo, but certainly it was a good thing beaten. Just couldn't get out, stuck in a pocket on the fence, and really nice finale. I don't think this field is easier, and it does go up in weight a little bit, but I like barrier 5. It can just sit off them, draw next to the favourite, and it'll have last crack at them. It just looks really good each way chance. It's only up to 2 for the race, so if you're going to take each way, it needs to run second, but it looks hard to beat in the first. Obviously, the favourite's got a really hot form, so it is a good little field, and I'm hoping that this time around it gets more clean air. On the Smart Odds comparison with BoomBet, you can get 5.10 at the moment about Polish Playgirl, which looks over the odds in this field. So did you have any thoughts on this one, Jo?
No, I didn't see the run where it came there, but I'm just looking at the field and there's a horse that's got 2 from 2. And it looks like it could be a Canberra horse because the trainer's Nick Olives. Number 5, Spicy Lou.
Yeah, that's an interesting runner. You mentioned Spicy Lou. Certainly a rising grade, but it's the only one with winning form in this, so I can't really knock it. Barrier 1 and a lightweight. So, yeah, it is a good little field. Lady Pankhurst has good form. The favourite's obviously coming out of some handy races, so I think it'll be a tight finish. If Polish Playgirl can get over the line at 5.10, it's a big start to the day. So that's race number 1. Race number 2 is the South Pacific Classic. Not really much comment here, but no strings attached, looking for 4 straight. So it's bound to be popular with punters. The one I will mention briefly, Jo, is Meridiana. It was massive on debut. This was a little while ago, but won by 2 lengths, and the form out of that's been excellent. We've seen plenty of subsequent winners come out of it. That was the same race with Monty VB, who just missed the other day as my best bet. So I think that's a big danger. Madge Wood's third line of betting, and I don't know how that lost the Bob last start as a $1.80 favourite, but yeah, this is another good field. I'm interested to see if no strings attached can make it 4 in a row. The one we will get stuck into is the Midway Championship final. This is a good race. A lot of handy runners here. Lord of Biscay's been smacked in betting. It's now gone into equal favourite with Matcha Latte, French rule out on the third line of betting. Don't know if you know much about Matcha Latte, Jo, but early doors was in some pretty handy fields. I know it was in the Gloaming Stakes, Ming Dynasty, second to Golden Mile, and then it went off the boil and had a stable change, and it's hit form again. Is there anything you like in this one?
I like that one too, actually. It's the betting was fairly open. I mean, you said that it's been smashed, but back when I had a look, it was 4-1 the field. So that's a great betting race.
Yeah, it is. You've got some good value in it. Magneteer's racing in really good form as well, and on the Smart Odds comparison, you can find it up to $16 there. So there's value to be found in this. I also thought Money Team, who's racing in really good form as well, was going to be hard to beat. There's $16 about it with Colossal Bet on the Smart Odds comparison, and 18 with Betfair. So it's It is a hot field. I just think, yeah, Matcha Latte class of the race, prime for this. Really hit its straps with a new stable and barrier two. Worried about the support with Lord of Biscay though, and Chris Lee's stable. They like to bet. I think usually get runners pretty well backed, and J Max aboard, so that looks a big danger. The race number 4 is the Percy Sire Stakes, within the law, but not a whole lot of confidence in this because Tempted was unlucky last start. Where it gets to from the draw, I'm not sure, but that's got form around Hoona and Woderton, so it's coming out of some good races. That's a handy little field, that one. Race 5, Joe, it's Starrowfield Sprint. What are your thoughts on Autumn Glow so far?
I like it. Yeah, I think she's really good. I mean, 4 out of 4, it's pretty good as a 3-year-old.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess it will be very short too, won't it?
Yeah, that's it. $1.50 on the Smart Odds comparison's the best you can get. And look, I still think that's overs. I think it'll just win. She's a talent, and at the moment still doing it a bit raw. Does tend to do a few things wrong, but beat Enrich last start easily. That just looks good form for this. This is the hardest field it's seen to date for sure. And Enrich does come up in this as $15, but I can't see it bridging the gap. Autumn Glow just with 54.5 kilos and J Mac and a good draw. It looks a good confidence booster for punters, and I'm absolutely sure that's going to be the anchor of a lot of multis across Australia. So keen to see how she goes. I think she'll win by at least a length or two. But that being said, Private Life has got some good form. It's been racing another wheel, Mr. Brightside, Tom Kitten. So it is a good field. Public Attention's got a fourth to Broadsiding, and it beat Linebacker. So we've seen Linebacker since win a huge feature. So it is a stacked race, and if you do want a bit of value, I think you can get some good place odds around the favourite. But all eyes on Autumn Glow, and it looks the one. And that takes it into the Oaks, who I'm sure a lot of multis will be riding into Treasure of the Moment. Thoughts on Treasure of the Moment, Joe?
It looks like the winner. There's hard to see it being beaten, even though there's other horses with great form in the race. That looks like the one, doesn't it?
Yeah, another 400 metres rising trip. I thought last start it probably didn't win. I thought it was going to win by more. I thought it was going to win by 5 or 6 lengths, but it is a winner, and it just gets the job done every time. It's really hard to tip against. I think it'll be super popular with punters on the day, and it's just on the up. I can only see the extra 400 metres being better for it.
The danger's the New Zealand runner, like Lucy, because she's already won at that distance. She won the New Zealand Oaks last start.
Yeah, interesting runner, and got some nice New Zealand form from over there. It's I guess one positive thing for punters who are keen on Treasure of the Moment. You've got to win over the 2,500 last prep, but then again, it was over Powers of Opal, who I think isn't quite going along as well as you'd hope. So interesting race. This is the stiffest test for Treasure of the Moment so far. $1.70 looks about right. I don't think it's crossed the line already, but it is a logical winner. And at the moment, 5 out of 5 with Damien Lane aboard. I think he just knows the horse in and out, and expect that to be getting the job done. Sydney Cup's an interesting one. Oh, Joe, I've given up on Zardozi. I think it's it's been spinning money. It is. I've keep thinking it's due to win, and it's. I know it's. I've been on it recently. It's run second, fourth, third, second, third. Last start, I thought it was perfect setup, perfect distance. I know that during the week they've come out and said this is a good setup for it, but it seems to keep finding a good setup and not winning. So I've $8 at the moment on Sportsbet with the Smart Odds comparison, can get up to $8.50 shopping around. I'm going to stick out of this one, but yeah, if Sardozi wins, I'll be. Have you got any thoughts on this race?
I'm going for one. Number 4, Circle of Fire, barrier 22, simply because it has won at that distance. There's not a lot of 2-mile horses, real 2-mile horses around, and that's going to be an each way back for me. But I know it's at a long price.
Yeah, I had it in my selections, and I'm glad you mentioned it because Yeah, and at one point went into Melbourne Cup favourite. I think there's probably just got early wraps a bit too soon. But yeah, it is a huge price. At the Smart Odds comparison, you can get 18s about it. Obviously, barrier 22 is a concern, but it is a staying race. And at one point, we were thinking this was an absolute superstar, and I don't think it's really done a whole lot wrong to date. It's 2 out of 2 on the track and one over this trip, as you said. I mean, last start it was fifth to Dubai Honour and not too far off Warband before, so it's got good form, and its wins last prep the prep before were quite breathtaking when it won 2 in a row, and everyone was pretty keen on it. And it was sort of this time last year, so should be ready to peak. Nice shout from Joe there at 18s on the comparison. So good race. Ties it into the Queen Elizabeth. Another very cracking race. This Fair Sistina. I'm sure she's going to be popular with punters again. Another leg that'll likely be in that 3-legger that a lot of people will be keen on. And what are your thoughts here, Joe? Do you think $1.80 at the moment's fair for Via Sistina, or are you going to look elsewhere?
I think it's probably fair.
Yeah, it's her fourth up win last prep was the one where she won by half the straight. So I'm interested to see if she'll do that again. That was at Moonee Valley, where that was probably the best win I've ever seen. So whether we see an explosive fourth up win here, I'm not sure. She's only really been getting the job done just this prep. I mean, beat Fangirl by 0.3 and then beat Lindemann. So it is looks a logical winner, but there is some good form here. Rushan Park's an import that I know the Japanese usually place the imports really well. I think that's one to be wary of if there's market support. And obviously Dubai on a last start was very good, a very strong win, just bulletproof horse. Its record's ridiculously good. And now it's got that 1 out of 1 over track and trip. So yeah, it's interesting. I think that Sistina is probably the most vulnerable short price favourite on the day, but at the same time, I think it's hard to look past her. Barrier 1, I'm keen to see what J-Mac will do, especially in a field of this size. He'll need to. He can camp them, but he will need to get out at some point.
Yeah, it's a quality field. I think there's a few chances in there besides her.
Yeah, that's it. No, I'm not sure if she's getting better this prep. It's hard to say. I mean, she hasn't beat a whole lot so far. Fangirl's obviously a star, but Lindemann, I think that's not superior form to some of these. And then she was beaten fresh by both of those runners. So what she brings, I'm not sure. If it's a fourth up run she did last prep, then she'll win comfortably. But yeah, it's interesting. Whether she just took a massive liking to Moonee Valley that day and gave them the slip is also a query. But Dubai Honour, yeah, it's an interesting runner as well. I mean, it's been all around the globe. Germany, Hong Kong, France, it's everywhere. Great Britain.
Wow.
It's you'd love to own it, that's for sure. Race number 9, we've got the Queen of the Turf Stakes. Fangirl comes up favourite here. I couldn't look past her. She's another odds on, but she's just got the right form. She's so honest, just beaten by Gringotts last start. Just beaten by Via Sistina the start prior. Steffi Magnetica, though, Joe, I don't know if you caught the last run, but she bounced back to form.
Oh, yes. That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah, good win that. I mean, she was a little bit off the boil somewhat, but now she's back and she's last prep. She was close to Mr. Brightside and has won the Stradbroke. So another runner I'll just give a shout is Lazura. I think some people will be wanting to cash in again. It got beaten by a head by Lekvart last run. I don't know if you caught that in the midweeks last week, Joe, but it was a sick beat. It should have won by 3 or 4 lengths. I mean, it was absolutely rocketing. So still untapped, Lazura, an interesting runner. It's if one's going to sprout wings at odds, I think she could be the one. But Fangirl, impossible to knock. She's very classy. And who do you think in this one, Joe?
I'll probably have, if Steffi Magnetica's each way price, that'll be who I go for. Just because I was so impressed last time.
Yeah, it was a visually impressive win. I mean, she didn't get all the favours. It was a big field, had to sweep, and yeah, it was a very strong turn of foot. So, and it's going to be interesting because a lot of these are relying on their turn of foot. I know Fangirl's likes to come at the late. Lazura will be a tissue and Steffi Magnetica. So, and Amelia's Jewel, your friend. So it's interesting to see. It doesn't seem to be a whole lot of pace on paper, so I'm not too sure. There's going to be 4 or 5 of the main chance in the market who all settle off speed, so it's going to be a dash to the line, I think. Best sprint, and whoever has the best run in transit wins. And I guess J-Mac aboard. Fangirl does give it a good chance there. So that's Randwick. The last of the day is the Sapphire Stakes, which I couldn't enter with a lot of confidence in. The favourites hard to beat there. I'll just touch on Bendigo briefly. We've got a few good races there. I did like Zlotys in race 7. This is the Bendigo Gold Bracelet. I've been sticking with Zlotys for a while. I just think it's getting good form come out of its last run. It's got a huge turn of foot, and it's just a progressive type. I think it's racing really well. Looks set nicely for this field. This is the hardest race it's seen, but at the moment, I like what I've seen from her. She's got a really nice turn of foot, and I think she'll be hard to beat in this. You can get 330 on the odds comparison, so she's going along well in that. Anyone you like in the Bendigo Guinness, Joe? We've got Wonder Boy and Dollar and No Strings Attached as the 3 main chances.
I haven't looked at Bendigo at all.
Yeah, it's a tricky one. I found both of the features in Bendigo wide open. There's a few hopes in this one. Wonder Boy's knocking on the door, and I think that'd be hard to hold out. 340 available on the odds comparison, but this is a pretty open field, so I didn't enter this with a lot of confidence. No Strings Attached is absolutely flying, just keeps winning. So that's a tricky field to split there, and No Strings Attached looking for 4 in a row actually. The other feature is the Golden Mile, race 9 at Bendigo. Another one I'm probably going to stick out of because you've got $5 the field here. Angzuto, the favourite, is looking for 5 in a row, barrier 16. Ooh. So, yeah, it's going along really well. Smoking Princess as well is super honest. It's placed 13 of 20 and 5 out of 8 over the trip. That'll be hard to beat again. And Regal Zeus as well, racing well. So it's a wide open race there. I'm just going to steer clear of that one. And, it looks a pretty tricky one. Joe, we'll move over to your side. And I know you've got the Morphetville tracks this weekend. So a couple of feature races there. Did you want to just run us through what we've got on?
Okay, we've got 4 listed races. There's the Without Fear Stakes for 2 years olds, the Redelva, Port Adelaide Guineas, and the City of Adelaide Handicap. And then we've got 2 Group 3s, which are the Irwin Stakes and the Auraria Stakes. And I think the Irwin Stakes is going to be very interesting because Asphora returns. And that campaign in the UK was pretty impressive because she won that Group 1 King Charles III in a field of 17. So she hasn't raced since March. I just think she hasn't raced in August. But it'd be good to see how she's come back.
Absolutely. I've been a fan favourite of hers probably since her debut, I think. And the UK run was sensational. That turn of foot was as good as it gets, and it was good to see her represent Australia there. All her forms very good from Australia. So yeah, I'm keen. I mean, she was second to Imperatrice when we had Imperatrice going around and with the picket fence. So I'm interested to see here. Do you think Aviatress is a big chance, or are you pretty keen on Asphora?
I think Aviatress is very good, and she's got the advantages that it's not first up, and it's her home track, and she's an Adelaide horse, whereas Asphora's got it's been around and come back to Australia. I just think it'll be a really good race because there's other good horses in there. So Sway's pretty good too, the number 2 horse.
Yeah, it's a good field.
And Watch Me Win can surprise, even though its rating is well below something like Asphora. That's in with a chance too. I think that will be the best of the Adelaide races.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll be keen to see what the market does with Aspora. I think it'll be 1 or 2. It'll go out to $4, $5 maybe, or possibly go into $2.50 and battle for favouritism and beat Aviatrix. I'm keen to see what happens. Man, we don't really know if Aspora is absolutely primed to be taking this out or it's a warm-up run. But if it is primed, very, very hard to beat the star horse. Any other races you wanted to mention there, Joy, or selections you have?
No, Ascot's got 3 feature races too. There's the Perth Stakes, which is a listed race, and the Roma Cup, and then the Gimcrack. So it is a massive weekend all around.
Yeah, certainly is. Big weekend all round of racing there. So just to let listeners know as well, listen to the SmartB Sports Update for updates on other sports around the world. Sign up to SmartB to get the Back and Winner newsletter, daily best bets, tip of the day, and daily updates in news and information for all your sports and racing. And make sure to follow at SmartB app on all social media platforms and at Back a Winner on Twitter and X, or whatever they're naming Twitter these days, which I think is X. So that's everything for the weekend there. I think, Joe, with I'm going to keep it nice and basic, but my best play for the weekend, I know a lot of punters will be doing this, but Via Sistina, Treasure the Moment, Autumn Glow. It's at the moment you can get sort of $4.50-ish for that multi. I know that'll be very popular. I think it's a nice play. The confidence dims more as we go on. I think Autumn Glow and Treasure the Moment are locks, and hopefully Via Sistina can get it done. But yeah, that looks a decent play at odds there. Thanks very much for joining me, Joe, and I'll talk to you next weekend. Good luck on the weekend, punters.
As they race up towards the line.
Russell's going along like a winner. With a photo finish between second and third.
Oh,